So this will be recorded for you. So if you need to go back and check out any of the things we talked about, you kind of missed something or just want to, you know, share it with someone else. So I'm Monica Spillman, and I've taught pre-K in Hamilton County. This is my second year. Before that, I taught pre-K for 3 years in Georgia, and I've been a special ed teacher. I did that for 5 years. So pretty much experience from pre-K to 12th grade. I always tell people. Middle schoolers are just like pre-K, and so are high schoolers. So it's all the same. But I'm a Google certified trainer, so I like the googly things. But so anyways, I'm going to share with you, and so this document here just has some ideas that I was putting together in the last few days of things that I thought would be helpful to someone teaching younger students. So you can find it at this link, bit.ly tech for pre-K and K. So if you wanted to follow along, you could. And you know, they like us to have the clear learning targets. So there you go. It's clear as mud, right? We're just going to do just several tips on how to help you with the little ones online, and then any questions you have or ideas you want to share. So if you have an idea to share, you just want to make sure that everyone sees it, put it in the chat window. And then if you have, because I won't be looking at that right now. And then if you want to say something, unmute yourself and just, you know, it's like raising your hand, and I'll stop talking. But so they like us to keep these for an hour. So I will respect your time. And if anyone needs extra, you know, they want to talk more about certain things, just let me know. So the first thing, you know, pre-K and K, we know that little ones need visuals. So I tried to use the visuals here on this document to show you that these emojis really kind of help your student kind of know what's going on. So when my students see this target, they know exactly, oh, that's our learning target. And then, you know, this light bulb is an idea, that sort of thing. So where do you find these little visuals to put with your text? So like, say if you're giving examples like color, cut, glue, write, there's an emoji for that you can get. There's 2 different places I like to use. One of them is the insert special characters, and you just type, like if I want to type pencil, there you go. But these aren't always so cute. I don't like these as much. I prefer a website called Emojipedia, emojipedia.org, and it has emojis that go with almost every platform. So if I type pencil into this, it's going to give me a lot cuter options, which to me, the more engaging, the better. And then you just click copy, and it's on your clipboard now. So if I go over here and I want to put it like right there, I just paste it, and there it is. And then it's just like text. So if I want to make it really big, say it's at the beginning of something, I just enlarge the font. So it's really helpful for little ones. If you're thinking you might use Google Classroom, it's really, really helpful for that. But anytime you're making resources for your students, this is super helpful, because they won't always understand, or you know, they just need help comprehending with it. So does that make sense? Is that everybody feeling comfortable with that? Or see the benefit of it? Has anyone used the emojis to make assignments? Can I open this? Whoops. Okay, well, I'm just going to assume everybody's good with that. So Emojipedia is where I like to go for that. So one of the things that is very helpful for me in my classroom is using Google Slides, because it's almost like a book. It's almost like my large lesson plan in order. And so let me show you some examples of what I'm talking about. So one of the things I do with Google Slides is I make the, let me show this to you. I make the videos that we share I show them from a Google slide so that students do not have, they're not just on YouTube. So here's one that I did. So you can see at the bottom, it's a Google slide. So here you can see that when it pops open, I made this linkable. So if they want to see a math video, then they click on that. And then there are a few videos. So when I play this and I get to the end, it's not going to throw them onto YouTube. Because it's embedded into a slide, it's going to be right here, and they're going to stay in this slide, and then they can go to the next one. So there are, just lots of ways that these slides can help you. So it's just a really, it's a good tool for helping you share things with your students. That's all in one place. So slides can be used for your little ones, but they need to be kind of cute. Like, I don't know, this isn't cute to me, but if you like to do things plain and simple, that's fine. If you want some cute templates that don't take a million years for you to create yourself, then here's one. Here's a website called Slides Mania, and there's just all kinds of different templates. Like, I love this one. I just think that would be so cute to create something that has unicorns on it for the little ones. So I've used this several times. Like, this is a neat one that would be, like if you're doing some kind of, mystery thing, you want to make it engaging. See, all these little things in the background are there ready for you. And all you have to do is type in the text. So I used one of these templates to create a different different slide deck for the Google introduction. So you can do PowerPoint if that's what you're more comfortable with, or Google Slides. So if I wanted to use this one, I would click Get Google Slides Template. And then right here it says Use Template. If I decide I don't want it, it's not going to save it to my drive. I can click through and see what kind of pages it has. So now it's adding it to my drive, and there's my copy of it. And then I can click on any of these places where it kind of prompts you for the words, and I can type when the internet gets ready.
Something that I have found helpful using PowerPoint in my classroom is that if I use the same background for all the same type of PowerPoints, then my kids know, like, okay, this background means that we're going to do this kind of set of activities, and it helps them mentally prepare for what we're going to be doing, because it makes it more predictable. And I found that was helpful for my kids in the classroom. So I imagine it would be helpful now too, if you use the same background for all your read aloud PowerPoints or something.
Oh yeah, definitely. Totally. Like if all your writing assignments are on a red background, all the math is on blue. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So in my classroom, the specific way I used it was with our center activities. So we had one day was red day activities, one day was blue day activities, and so when they saw the background, they always knew, okay, this is what I'm going to be doing. This is what I can expect today. And so that was helpful for them. As soon as they saw that visual cue, they were like, oh, this is what I can expect today.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yes. With the little ones, color coding is, that's just a big support. I mean, it helps all students, but we're lucky in the younger grades that it's allowed. Like, no one's going to think, oh, that's too cutesy or that's not challenging enough, because they need all that visual support. I'm going to hold on a second. I'm going to try to there it is. Okay. I'm going to try to stay in this window so that I can toggle back and forth. So yeah, the slides, all those backgrounds and things like that. So if you chose one set of slides for all your math and that sort of thing, or maybe even Monday. Like Monday is this template, Tuesday is this template. That's something you could do. Slides Carnival is another way that you could do it. And so one of the things, I'm like, here's one of the templates I used for a session earlier in the week. And so you can see that it just, you know, all of this nice background stuff was already there. All I had to do was add this text, and then I added the image and the text. So, you know, it just looks like you took a lot of time and it looks engaging, but it's not going to spend, you know, you're not going to spend half of your planning time just moving boxes and putting pictures in. I was going to show you how to add a video in if you don't know, and then like a voice typing feature that might be really helpful for your little ones. So like here's a template that I got off of Slides, I think it's, yeah, Slides Mania. And so, you know, if you want to, like, you could even embed a video of yourself if you record it and add it to your drive. So if you go to the insert menu, then add a video. We're all about some Jack Hartman, so you know, even though they're in pre-K, they want to count to 100. So we do that every day, and we just do a different video. So if I choose one video, I can only choose one at a time. It turns blue. You insert it, and you can take. You can't take the images off the background, but you just can cover them up if you don't want to see them. But so, you know, this video right here, I love Jack to death, but I can't stand his introduction. So I always try to skip over it. So I'll show you where that came from. So let me click out of that. All right, you see format options. If you click that, it pops up these different choices that kind of make your visuals just look better or work better. So I like to change the start time on his videos to 10 seconds. And so it skips over all of that opening Jack Hartman Kids Music Channel, and you know, it's just annoying. So so that's one thing that's very helpful. If you want it to autoplay, you can do that. If you just want them to see what's happening, like say you want to show them a math concept, moving things around, you do not want what the speaker is saying to come out. You just want them to watch it and copy it. Then just mute the audio, and then they'll only see it. And then drop shadow is more of a visual thing for like images. But so when I present this, I'm gonna turn the volume down. Well, I muted the volume. You still have all of this junk at the bottom. It's kind of annoying, but so when you get to the end, it doesn't throw them into YouTube. It throws them, it just leaves them right there in your slide deck. So that's just, to me, that's very helpful. Then you just can add several videos. So that's what I did on the web page. I have too many tabs open. Y'all see that? So this is just a sample web page that I made that just to give you some ideas of one way you could share your lessons with your students. I don't know if you're using Google Classroom or Seesaw or something like that, but this would be an easy one-stop place for you to show your lessons. And so what I did for these first 2 weeks was these are like learning ideas for each day of the week for 1 week, and then there's 2. I think I added 4 weeks, and then this visual goes with that. And then over here you have a weather graph that the parents could print out, and then I added our visuals down here. So has anybody used Google Sites very much? So there is a template I wanted to show you. I think it is right here. Okay, so like I said, I don't know if you're using Google Classroom or how you're sharing your lessons, but here's an idea of how you could use a Google site and a slideshow to create your lessons. So this is one of those templates, and I just took out several of the pages. So you could make, this could be your work for the week of 3/23/2020. And then down here, you give them all of their work for the day, for each day, and then add the links in. If you need more space, you could use this page. And if you need more of this page, you just right click on that slide and duplicate it. So you could have all of those slides for that 1 week. And then let's say that we're done, with the week, and you want to do this again. You just want to use the same format. So you could copy all the slides. You just select them all with the control button down. So push control and then select, and control C and then control V. Then you have a whole new set. So that was last week. So now I can go back to the top, and then I can put in the next week. So the thing about this that is really, really helpful with the Google site is that you can go to File, Publish to the Web. All right, so you want to publish it. Are you sure? Yes. Okay. All right, and then you don't need to fool with that. Just click out of that. Over here in your share menu, in your share box, I'm sure you've run into problems where something wasn't viewable by somebody. They said, I can't see it, I can't open it, I need access. So if you see this lock, you know that only you can see it. So click the share button, hit advanced, and then when you see what says private, change that, public on the web, because really you're not going to be doing anything on there that is private. In my opinion, it's okay to put public on the web, and then you don't worry about any kind of problems, except right clicking on this thing here. There we go. Done. Okay, so now this document is on the web. You see the little globe there. All right, and then so I've got 2 weeks of plans. So last week was this, and then I copied all those slides, and then this week is this. And like someone was saying about the colors, you could change the colors of, like, say if you use this template, you could change the color of your typing or something to help them differentiate between the different weeks. But and you can also add the date on these, like I did. So if you go to a site, so like this is one that that's not the one I want. Here we go. Okay, so I just made a fake, I made a copy of my site, which you could do if you had several classes. I know little ones, we don't have that. But this could be where all of your lessons live. And so I'm going to delete all of these things. I just tap them and delete them, tap them and delete them. I say, all right, that's it. There's a trash can. All right, so now if I want to add in that document that that we just created for your lesson plans, you go to your drive, and I like to just go to recent. Where are you? Well, I don't know where that one is, but here's another one. It's in here somewhere. All right, so here's another version of that weekly lesson plan. I'll show it to you in just a minute. I think it's in the wrong drive. So here's what you could do. You could have it in just a table format, You can make it as big as you want, because depending on what format they're going to look at it in, it'll enlarge. So if I look at this and see what it looks like, there's the lesson plan, and then you can just click on it. So if you're making your lesson plans in a format like that, that would be an easy way to share it with your families, and then they wouldn't have to go looking all around for it. Does that make sense to use the Google site, or how are you guys going to be sharing things with your students? All right, well, let me show you something else. Okay, so I showed you the Slides Mania and the Carnival. So voice typing in docs. So some of your little ones, this could be very helpful if you shared a plain document with them and then you showed them how to do voice typing. So if you're just wanting them to add dictation to their drawing, then they could do this. So give them a fresh document. That's the blue thing. Go to Tools. And then you go down to voice typing. And then see the cursor is right here next to this. So it's going to start saying what I'm doing, or it's going to start typing what I'm saying. All right, I'm going to allow the microphone. So this is going to type what I am saying, period. The students don't have to say it perfectly, period. It just helps them see what they are saying in print, period. So that's just a way that that you could use voice typing in the docs to help your little ones. I wasn't sure exactly what kinds of things that everyone wanted to kind of talk about or maybe see some ideas of. So here's another thing that's in documents and slides. This little gray star, the Explore button. Like, again, with the little ones, you know, they need visuals. So like, let's say if I want to, if I type the word dog, and then I highlight it and see, let's see, let me go back to the Explorer. So it's going to show me some things, like if this document just had the word dog on it, then it would show you some things related to it. So for like kindergartners, they could do research in this little sidebar, and they could, you know, see visuals and different things like that to help them, and they wouldn't have to leave the document. You just have to play around with that and show, you know, kind of give them ideas. If you're going to be teaching your students live, you could use Google Slides or even one of these Hangouts. There's also in Slides, there's something called Nearpod or Pear Deck. But if you want help with that, then there's going to be some more specific trainings on that. There's a digital interactive notebook that someone put together. Now, this is fun, but it may not be something you want to do right away. You could change where it says unit. You could change it to, you know, Jason, you know, Michaela, Jared, and then down here, the same thing would be connected. So these boxes are connected to the slides, and they would have their own slide. So that's kind of a neat way to use the slides, and they could see each other's work. You just have to trust them not to bother each other's work. But that's another thing that's really, really fun to use, is the interactive notebooks where they're collaborating and maybe seeing each other. So one of the big things that I saw is people are wanting to know, how do I type in a PDF? So if that's what you want, raise your hand or put a thumbs up in the box or something. Because it's going to take just a minute to show you how to do that. But I think it's something that people are really, really looking for. Like, how do I let my little ones type in the PDF? So let me show you my examples of that. All right, so typing on a PDF, you know, one of the things I would recommend is if you're sharing a PDF with your students, just share a blank document and let them fill out the answers. But if you really, really want to show them, if you really want them to type on that document, I think DocHub is a really great website for you to do that. So it's doc, I can't say it, dochub.com. And what it will do is it will let you create something. So import a new document. It gives you all the choices. So if you can import it from your drive. I'm gonna try to find a PDF here. So here's a PDF. It needs to be a PDF for them to be able to use this. So what I have found useful was copy this link, and then all you have to do is share the link. So I'll share that with you guys in the chat, and you might have to sign into a Google account. I noticed Jim is here, and he's very savvy on DocHub. So there's a link to the document that you should be able to have them type on. So if I click on that link that I just shared with you, all right, so this is just one that I was playing around with. Your little ones have the option to type some words. So if they say type the number 3, then over here they would type the number 4. So that sort of thing. They could type like that. You could actually add the boxes in before you send it to them. So over here, you could have them typing in the word. Is that how you spell acorn? Baby. They can draw on it. So like if you want them to circle, all the odd numbers, they could do that. They're just using the trackpad, or if they have a mouse, that would be really helpful. You could have them color the, color all of the even numbers, so they could highlight it with a color. So DocHub is a really easy way for you to create those documents. So let's see what else. All right, and so since you need it to start from a PDF, then there are a couple of ways that you can do this. Your little print icon here, or file, go down to print. So you can print it from your device. So it's right here, it's going to save it to my drive, but if I want to change that, I can save it as a PDF. And then it's going to be saved on your device. And then I can go back to DocHub, and then I could create a new thing for them to work on from my computer. And then each item has its own link. So see, now we have this. And then if you wanted to give me feedback or whatever, I could say, type comments here, highlight this, that sort of thing. So there's just lots of ways that DocHub and then the PDF, saving to PDF could help. Another way, if you have your phone, I do this all the time. If someone says, I need a copy of that, or they want to share a copy, I take my phone out and I open up an app called Genius Scan and take a picture of it, and it turns it into a PDF. I don't have a video of this for you, but these examples are exactly what I do. So like they're doing receipts, but you could also do this with, I've done it with my report cards because our pre-K report cards are hand done. And so I've been writing them out by hand, but I'm going to give the parents a digital copy. So I just take a picture of it, and this orange box comes up. It's very, very easy to use. And then you can just save the name, and there you go. And then you email it to yourself to add it to your drive. And then there you have a PDF of anything. So if you're with someone, if you see something out in public, you want the kids to draw on or annotate or anything like that, or circle all the letters. If you see a funny sign and you say, circle all the letter A, find all of the ways that you can make A on this newspaper, you could take a picture of the newspaper and send it to them as a PDF. And there's just lots of different, just so many different ways that could work. Is everybody feeling good? If not, say something. All right, let's see what else. Is that it? Nope. All right, so I showed you okay, HyperDocs. I'm going to show you an example, but then this is just another way to plan out your lessons, but it's more for individual lessons. So it's kind of complicated. It could be an awesome Friday thing where like you take one thing and let them focus on it, or even I've talked to some teachers that are going to try to make Friday more of a makerspace, passion project, 20% time, whatever you want to call it. But these are awesome ideas for something a little more focused. And a HyperDoc basically is a plan that or is a template that starts from engagement and hooking them into your topic. And then so you're going to explore it. They're just going to find some stuff out. There's usually a video or something like that. So here's explaining what you're doing, applying what you're doing, and then sometimes they even have a create option. So they want the kid to take whatever they've learned, and really the work stays in this document. So if you're using Google Classroom, you could just add this to Google Classroom and then tell it to make a copy for every student, and then they've got their own. If you're sharing this on a screen, I'm going to show you a little trick. It's in the list for a little bit later, but at the top, this bar up here is the address bar. Google calls it the Omnibox. But every document that you create has this edit right there at the end. Sometimes there's more words, but there's, edit is usually where it is when you're working on it. And if you change that to preview, you guys may know this, but if you change it to preview, then it kind of looks like you're presenting it, so it's a little bit bigger, but you still have access to all of this. So it doesn't go into full screen and kind of make your, just make you have to go back and forth, back and forth. So if you're sharing this with somebody, all the links work, but nothing is movable when it's in this mode. It's still like you're presenting, but nothing is movable. So I like using that a lot. Like with my daily slides I use in my classroom. Let's see if I can find that. So what I do in my classroom, actually I'll show you this way. It's easier. So I've used it so much, it's right here on the front page. Like you probably want to open this, don't you? So see how it's in preview mode? So we've got the question of the day. I told them to watch the, I was like, please don't get your germs on me or in your friends. Where they sit, videos, learning targets. So all of this is in, is what I use all day long for my lessons, but it's in preview mode instead of present. So preview will help you keep access to all of this stuff, and then present will, take over your whole screen. So I'm going to check back over here. All right, everybody seems okay. All right, so a lot of teachers are recording their screens just like I'm doing now. So there are several options that you have for that. And on that spreadsheet where you found this session, you should be able to get a tutorial for Screencastify, Screencast-O-Matic, Zoom, and this one is called Google Meet. So all of them would work for you to record your session. I'm not going to go into all of them because I want to make sure I try to answer any questions. So we've already talked about the Google site as an example of a way to share information with your students. You could have a Google form at the end for them to turn in their work, or you could just say, send me a picture, email me a picture, that kind of thing. I'm having my parents, I use Google Voice so that I don't have to give away my phone number, and they're sending me pictures of the students, and then I just give them a little point. We have a little game called the Super Leopards. So I'm just going to go over these really quick. I said change the link to preview. You can see my cursor is like really big. I changed it over here in the settings. If you go to this little box down here with the little chat box thing, well, open it up. Open Action Center. So on your settings, you can go to, I just put in cursor because I don't like to spend a lot of time looking for stuff. So you can change, it tells you right there how you can change it. And so I can make it really big, or I can make it smaller. And what that does is it helps your students see what you're doing if you're going to be doing things like a screen share or online. You just have to be careful because the pinpointing of where it goes is kind of, you have to just be more careful. But my students have really loved it because they can see, like I've been doing shared reading on the screen sometimes, or just following along with the words, one-to-one correspondence or counting, and the thick cursor seems to be helpful for them. Let's see. There's a few more ideas here that are kind of, I don't want to say super advanced, but they're kind of advanced to intermediate to advanced. But they're just other things you could do if you've already been doing a lot of this in your classroom or at your school. One big thing is go over here to the File menu, and then it says Make Available Offline. I don't know if there's a way to make this like universal for all your documents, but turn this on when you're creating things for our students these days, because they can download, or they can start on it on their Chromebook, and then if they are not at Wi-Fi anymore, let's say if they only have access to Wi-Fi for a little bit, they can still work on it, and then when they get back to Wi-Fi, it'll take a few refresh all their changes. So it's very nice. It makes it almost like a regular PC, but you have to tell the document that you want it to be offline. So you go to File. See, right now it's kind of stuck. I think the world is taxing the internet, but you would do that in the File menu. Let's see. All right, still no questions. All right, let me go back to this. All right, and then Google Voice, if you don't already have a way to communicate with your families, which you probably do by now, but if you don't, or if you're using your cell number and maybe next year you're like, I do not want to give these parents my number anymore, because I promised my husband when I started teaching I would never give out my personal number because I didn't want to have to change my number. And so that was tricky for me until I found Google Voice. The reason I like it is that I can make phone calls with it. I can text. It's all documented in online, like through an email or through the Voice app. It's not on my phone. It's not on my regular email. You can't create it with your Hamilton County Gmail. You have to use your personal account, or what I did was made I made a separate one just for the class. And so like you can see right here, this is a pink M. I know that's my Google Voice. It's super helpful. Things are not working right now. Not responding. We didn't notice. Here we go. So it's just like having a phone, but it's like on an app. And so you can see here that I can call people. They can leave voice messages and it will transcribe it. If they leave it in Spanish, it'll translate it. So it's really helpful for people that are, speak other languages. And then Greg Bagby has asked, please, to fill out a form, like I said, to get help for next week. Copy that link, or anytime. So if you'll fill that out for Greg, and then, so I'm done with what I really wanted to share. Well, let me show you one more thing. So if you're wondering about activities you could do, sorry, the internet is not, where is it? Do y'all do the Jeopardy waiting? I taught my kids the Jeopardy waiting song. Do, 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 do. Where is that document? Okay, I'm gonna go here. Okay, so let's see. If you want some ideas of places you can get some slides, templates, and ideas that would be very helpful for the little ones. Let me show you a couple of examples. They're on the document. Oh, I'm so sorry. My internet is just acting crazy. It's going to be all right. All right. Never mind about that. My internet is stuck, so you probably can't even hear me.
Does anyone know if that's technology that we could expect students to use independently? Because that's one of the biggest things I'm hearing from parents is, I'm working from home or we work all day. I don't have the time to sit down and help my child with all of these things. So does anyone have experience with kids using the technology independently?
Hey, I'm sorry about that. I'm not sure what happened. One of the interesting things about going in and out of a session is that you lose your chat box, so I don't know if anyone shared anything. There's a form at the bottom I'm sharing again. And I'm going to share the link to this, to the document again. So that way, if you need to, if you want to go back to it, I don't know why there's error. So are there any questions? I just want to make sure that, I know there's a lot of things to share at once, but I just wanted to make sure that we had something that was, you know, sort of geared towards the little ones.
Is this technology that you would expect students to be able to use independently? Because that's one of the biggest things I'm hearing from parents is, you know, we're working from home, or we're working we're still working full time, or our child cares with grandparents and they can't use the technology. Is this something that students could be expected to use independently, or would they need adult assistance?
Well, I think a lot of the, it just depends on maybe your families. Some school systems are saying that this, for like pre-K through second, this is not an independent type of thing, that they need support. Just like if they were homeschooled, like on a virtual school, they would get a commitment from the family. But if you wanted to make it a little more independent, you could just embed your videos. You know, take a video of yourself on your phone and then show it, you know, embed it in your document somewhere, and then it would give them the instructions, and then you just, and then you would just be able to kind of help them be independent. I don't know how much showed up while I was, I think my whole thing just blanked out on you. Were you able to see any of the things I shared with the Google site and things like that?
Yeah, I'm just wondering though, because like I know like my students, you know, when we were in the classroom and using technology in the classroom, like unless I got them to a specific website, like they had a lot of struggle using technology. So I just wasn't sure how much you expect them to do independently versus what they would need adult assistance to use.
Yeah, I think that honestly for the little ones, I think it's more about what we create for them to engage with. It's not necessarily going to be them so much doing everything independently. So, like, you know, I think that more hands-on, like do this, do that. If parents have a way to print things out that you create, then like if you, where's that template? Like if you did something like this box where, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or like you said, the color coding. Are you still driving? You probably can't see what I'm talking about.
No, I'm at my school now.
Okay. But, you know, if you had something that you would share with them and you could just talk them through it. So like, I can't add one right here, but you know, if I want to add audio to a slide deck, I can. So right here where it says insert, you have audio now, so you can insert things that you share with them. You would just create it like on your phone and upload it to your drive, and then you could pop it in there, or a video of yourself.
So like put a video showing them how to use the technology, so that way they can watch the video about how to, like, you know, how to color something on the .com that you're talking about. Like show a video of how to do that, and then they can you know, watch your video on how to use it, and then they can attempt to use it. So you would do it like that?
Yes. Yeah, you could totally. Yeah, because they're not going to be real familiar with it. But like, so right now I'm on the screen with the Doc Hub, and you could be talking, and you know, you could be recording your screen, and you could say, okay, you know, I want you to take the A and click that, and you know, put it by the three, you know, put it by each hand and tell me how many fingers, you know. And, you know, on this one, you know, maybe tell them to, you know, is it odd or even, you know, that sort of thing. But you could tell them how to use the tools up here. And then, and, you know, they could do something more of a fun thing, like, you know, color the picture or do a dot to dot. You could, you know, let them practice with it by doing like a dot to dot, where, because this button is a freehand. so they could draw lines. So they can even fill out, you know, a dot to dot page.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Ginger, what are you trying to get into? And I'll show you what, and I'll be glad to tell you what it is that, what you need. This first document, or this first link right here, is the document that that I was sharing as far as all the tips. And then this form is something that Greg Bagby would like us to fill out for, you know, just anything that you need for the future. And they're trying to just collect information on how many people are actually benefiting from it, and you know what else people need. So. And Ginger, there will be a video link in that spreadsheet where you found this session. So once this is done, it'll take probably about 30 minutes. It'll process the video, and then I can upload it onto that sheet, and then you can go back and watch the beginning. I hope the middle didn't cut out the way I think it did. The internet went crazy on me. I had to go in and out of it. So, so yeah, just look in the spreadsheet. You found this this session in. And then it's going to be right here where it says recorded, or like I'll change it to recorded link like this one says. So you'll be able to find it there. Is there anything in particular that you're trying to do with your kids that you're like, I don't know how to do that? How in the world do you do this? Or maybe teachers in your schools, you know, because I'll be glad to do this again. Just, you know, we don't know what we don't know. We're kind of getting into this. I thought I would do this morning because you're trying to make plans for next week. And I was like, you know, maybe a little bit of something ahead would be helpful as you're trying to get your interactive things ready for next week. Are you guys feeling like me, kind of like overwhelmed? Like, how are we supposed to do this with our little ones? That's kind of how, you know, I love technology and I'm used to it, but with the little ones, I know you have to respect the fact that they need to be more hands-on. Well, if you guys would please fill out that form that I've put here in the chat, but it's also on this document at the end. You know, share it with your colleagues, and if they have questions, tell them to reach out to me. I'll be glad to help as individually if I can. I'm a Google certified trainer, so that, you know, that's just kind of one of those things they want us to do is offer, you know, office hours, individual help, online help, just any way we can to help people use the tools in a great way. So just reach out to me. I'm Spillman_Monica@hcde.org. And you can, you know, I'll be glad to help you in any way, because as we get going in the coming weeks, I think we're going to find certain things that we need help with that that maybe we didn't know for sure about. But I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Thank y'all for popping in, and I hate that we lost the other people, but I will send them the link to the video so that they don't miss it if they want to see it. Y'all have a great day, and reach out if you need something. I'll be obviously working all day. Bye.